This is an ooh-wee production.
Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast, where the goal is to better our understanding through conversation. Communicating our feelings, our thoughts, or our opinions could be some of the easiest, or it could be some of the hardest things to do. But by communicating, we begin to form new perspectives. So throughout the various topics and opinions we discuss on our podcast, we hope that we can add value, understanding, and maybe a few laughs to your day. We appreciate you guys listening and enjoy the show. Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Bruce, here with my man, E. What's going on, bro?
My God, how you doing today?
Good, man. Good, bro. Glad to be back on the mic.
Yes,
Always,
sir.
man. Always.
Glad to be alive.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I feel like we ain't been on in a while.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
It do feel like that, man.
It weighs heavy like a burden.
Right, man. I was like thinking about it all week. Like, bro, we got to get a pod in, bro. We got to get a pod in.
Facts.
So,
we
yeah,
apologize about that, by the way.
Yeah. For real, man.
Yes,
You want to hop right into it, right?
Yeah.
Let's go,
So
man.
what's the topic?
The dangers of being misunderstood. Dangers of being misunderstood, man.
That's right. That's right. Before we went on the air, we discussed that.
Right.
When that topic hits you, what you think about it exactly?
Dangers of being misunderstood. Just like, you know what I'm saying, miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? Assumptions, things like that. Like just not really being just not really being understood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like kind of like an outsider.
Gotcha. And for me, I think of, not being the quintessential model or the mold of, what's expected, you know. And oftentimes when you're not those things, people look at you differently, and they look at you a lot of times in a way of lack, or in a way of, just unaccomplished, just many negative feats. Actually, they look at you like you're incapable, and nobody ever likes to feel that way.
Nah, definitely not, bro.
And because of that, it moves you in another direction, not the right direction.
Nah, for real, man.
So. We decided to go at this a little differently.
Yeah.
Normally than how we do.
Yeah.
And so we decided to do what? We
did like a little exercise.
Yeah, did a little exercise. Spend 3 minutes total on just coming up with just planning this out. And from planning it, let's see. Let me see. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
From planning it to reviewing it, and then what was the last one?
Planning, reviewing, and then reflecting.
Yeah, reflecting. Okay. I seem to have confused myself.
What'd you do?
I'm trying to figure out why I started writing. All right, 3 dangers. Okay. All right, I know where I'm at now. Cool. So the first thought, that popped in my head off of the planning portion is being unable to progress because you're stagnant in thought. Oftentimes, when you misunderstood, that's what happens. You become stagnant now because you're overthinking everything. You're thinking, okay, man, here it is, man. I'm walking into this store and I'm the only person of color in this store that's predominantly Caucasian. You know what? When I go, you already coach yourself on things you shouldn't do or you can't appear to be doing.
Right.
Now you walking down the aisle. In your mind, before you even walked in the store, you probably already knew what it is you came to get. But you like, now all of a sudden you looking around, well, this feel like something out of the Twilight Zone. Everybody looking at me. Why they looking at me?
Feel out of place.
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't hover around the area too long without picking up something. If you do pick up something, you need to go ahead and take it to the register immediately, pay for it, get out of there. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking all kind of stuff. You like, let me not get too close to the chicken. They expect me to buy chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, oh man, it's hot outside, boy. It's summertime, boy. Watermelon might hit hard, but no, I can't get watermelon. They expect me to get It's like you always doing the thing, it's just like, now you stuck. You like, now no, you're not accomplishing nothing because now you in your own way.
Yeah, for real.
You know,
like you said, you're overthinking it.
Yeah. So it's like, man, those are things, and not to that extreme.
Nah, I get what you're saying though.
I just give an example.
Like,
but everything like now
it's magnified. Bro.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing. Then I came back and I said, let's see. So when you made to feel stagnant, right?
Yeah.
One of the issues that happen with that is it affords you no opportunity to elevate, because again, as we were just saying, man, you can't elevate if you wasting time stuck on something that really and truly it's not even beneficial. It's not.
Yeah.
You can't. What I've learned is you can't control what somebody else is automatically going to think about you anyways.
1,000%.
And if you spend all your time trying to change somebody or trying to sway somebody into believing that you are who you are, then why are you even trying to live for this person? Because you're going to always fail at that point. When you wake out of bed, you are you. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
The movements that happen after you out of your door and you just moving through the world that particular day, that's you. But if you now, Miss Sally see me, let me go ahead and let me deliver an extra. Now you coming across like you fake.
Yeah, man.
Now Miss Sally really don't trust you. Mm-hmm. Look at that snake.
Wow, you bringing more attention.
Exactly. So more attention, it's like, man,
that's real. Hey,
you got to do it. You got to do it in spite of, despite.
Yeah, true.
So Miss Sally gonna look at you one way. You know what? Hey, how you doing, Miss Sally?
You feel me? Hey,
keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Keep
it moving, dog.
Exactly.
Ain't gonna waste no extra energy on it.
Exactly.
That's real.
So that was that portion of the drill. Then I came back and like the reviewing your progress, right? So I was speaking to myself in the past tense on that particular component of the exercise. So I started thinking about, through progress. When I started to find myself progressing, what did progression look like? Right. So for me, it was just finding a happy place in stepping out of my comfort zone and accepting that I am different, but my difference is another component that results in impact. So me being different, me being who I am is still needed, because although we could be in a room full of positive people, full of artists, so to speak, no two artists are alike. So my component of artistry is still needed, because for all I know, I could be the pieces that can build a bridge. I can understand both languages of abstract and concrete. So it takes me to come together to, with these 100%. Brothers or these brothers and sisters to create something special. Mm-hmm. You can't never think less of self. Yeah. And with that being said, moderation also will tell you that you can't think too highly of self either. It's just think of self as being enough. Right. I am who I need to be when I need to be. And I'm here for the voices maybe that's trying to speak the language that I'm able to present. Right, but it takes me to be that initial mouthpiece to speak the language. And once the language is heard, now everybody's speaking the language.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Nah, that's the introduction.
I don't know.
That makes sense though, because it's like, you basically saying like you uniquely made, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You speak to who you speak to. Your vibe attract your tribe.
Yeah,
I like James always say that.
Yes, sir. I like that. And the last portion of the drill was reflecting, looking back, and understanding how my own fear could have selfishly been detrimental to the present and future component of success. And that was just it. That's what I got. That was my 3.
Nah, that's real, bro. That was on point, man. I was like, dang, that was you hit hard, bro. All right, man. All right, let me see what I got, bro. So, dangers of being misunderstood, man. I want to talk about like the recent current event of Orange Crush. Like that's a big thing down here in Savannah. Obviously, it was started by Savannah State in I want to say like the early mid 90s or something like that. But Orange Crush is like this big party they throw on the beach. You familiar with it, right? Mm-hmm. You already know. So my thoughts on that, man, was I thought it was, my thoughts going out into it was like, it's going to be like superly racially charged or like super extreme racial going out there. And then my thoughts of that going out there, because I'm like, okay, it's an all black event, pretty much predominantly black event. It's a older white retirement type neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It's on the beach. It's like, man, they don't want us out here, bro. You know what I mean? It's going to be crazy. And then going into it, not even hitting the island, I've seen like 30 cars, GSP. So that's Georgia State Patrol. See the transportation people, the DOT people. See Tybee Island Police. See the game wardens on the four-wheelers. I see helicopters. It's like, bro, it was crazy. It's like, what the? And then all the way down, it's like barricades all the way down the whole street.
So let me ask you a question on that.
What's
man.
up?
So you seeing all of this stuff
Right.
from the side that you're on now, right? What's the thoughts that's going through your mind when you see all of this stuff?
I'm like, bro, this is overboard, bro. Like, this is crazy, way too much. This is like, I felt like dangers of being misunderstood. Like, bro, why we need all of this? It feel like martial law.
So, okay, so cool. Was that your original thought? Like, was this your thought after you had arrived on scene and you looking around at the people and you seeing, okay, they having a good time, they chill? Or was this your thought, like, on the way to the island?
This was my thought on the way to the island. Like, as
You
I got
already
closer,
thinking. You already thinking.
I'm
that
like, man, this is I already knew the area, like what type of area Tybee Island is, and then I already knew what type of event it was. I was like, those don't really mix. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't think those would mix. Like, and then as I got closer to the island, seeing all of that, it kind of just like added on to it. So it's like, man, so like as the weekend went on, because I had to work the weekend, understanding the event, like I said, I explained that. Then as the weekend went on, where I was working at, I talked to some of the locals, and they were saying, it kind of changed my perspective because I wasn't expecting that. She was like, it's not really the college kids that's causing all the problems. It's the outsiders. It's the adults. It's the people that's coming in that's not in college that's causing the issues.
Interesting.
Right.
Explain that part.
So I was like, oh, so basically like, the college kids, yeah, they might contribute, but the majority of the issues that they have, it's almost like the saying of 70, or I would say like, this is a percentage. I would probably say like 80 to 90% of the people out there are here to have fun. It's that 5 to 10% that's really out there jacking everything up and bringing a negative light to people. And I think that's what happened last year. You know what I'm saying? It was the small percentage that caused all the issues or caused a couple of major events that kind of ruined it or put that bad taste in people's mouth last year.
So it's one bad apple.
Right, pretty much. So like, and I was like, okay, cool, that makes sense. So I wasn't even expecting that, man. Like, I thought it was gonna be like, we don't really want them out here and stuff like that. But everybody I talked to around there was like, yo, we want them to have fun. We just don't want them. We don't want a repeat of last year. And excuse me. Not just fun, outsiders. Then I did some. So then fun is subjective, right? So it's like, okay, cool, fun is subjective. So I got to look at it from the perspective of the people that's coming to have fun. These are 18, 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds. So the type of fun they having, we all done been there. I can understand what they just trying to have. They just trying to chill or whatever. Then I talked to this one guy. He was a younger dude. And then he said, yeah, a percentage of it is racial. You know what I'm saying? Because the barricades were a little overboard, I feel like. It wasn't any parking. People had to pay extreme prices for parking. That part was a little much. The police presence I could understand due to the fact of how big it got last year. And he said, you know, in a perfect world, we wouldn't focus on color. It would be more focusing on culture. And I thought that was like, you know what I'm saying? It had me kind of like stuck because I was like, focusing on culture, not color, understanding culture, not understanding color. And I'm like, that would make a lot of sense.
So with that, if we were in that type of world, what do you think that would look like?
It would look like how we look at food. You know what I'm saying? Like how we look at food. Like we want to enjoy the culture of Chinese food, the culture of Italian food, the culture of those types of things. And we don't really look. I don't feel like we really highlight color that much.
You know the interesting thing about that, man?
What's up?
It's interesting. You say you think that we are enjoying the culture of the food, right?
Right.
For me, it's different.
What do you think?
For me, it's the taste. It's the taste that and I guess like certain now, and this is the beauty to culture. Sometimes, like you go to, you can go to a joint and you can ask for seafood or whatever, you know. Then you can go to another joint, you ask for, they preparing sushi, they preparing whatever. And you like, yo, like this has a legit, like I've never tasted anything like this before. Yeah. But it's only brought to you courtesy of this particular culture. Mm-hmm. Then you go over here, and that's the thing about, when you have a diverse palate. Like your tongue is like, man, now all of a sudden, like these flavors start popping, but these flavors don't become evident to you if you're closed-minded and you stay within one culture. And this particular culture only supplies this for you. And so it's like, like
that's ceviche, 100% true, man.
Peruvian, delicacies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. If you're not open to that stuff, you're not exposing yourself to the possibilities. Like, yo, like this stuff can blow your mind. Right, This stuff can give you a tongueasm. You know what I mean?
For real, though. For real, man.
But yeah, so when you say that, for me, it's the taste, though. Like, the presentation too. Now, don't get me wrong. And I think that a lot of time comes with race too, because race, for a lot of people, is presented to you. The presentation that is presented, when you're dealing with certain races, like the so-called black race, it's presented to you. The presentation looks a lot like ghetto. Right. That's what they give you, but that doesn't
encompass the whole culture.
Exactly. Yeah. That doesn't, that's not everybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the people that I hang around, that's not even the majority. Right. You know what I mean? Though. But it's like, it's crazy but I've noticed with negativity is always highlighted. It is. And like, and the one thing about it that doesn't come across as odd to me or interesting either is the fact that you say you got out there and like you started talking to the natives around there. Mm-hmm. And the natives, the majority of the natives you talked to were pretty much singing the same song.
Yeah, they was like, yo, man, I enjoy you guys, man. I want y'all to have fun.
But check this out. But the news have you to believe that the majority is they want them gone. They don't want them around here. So it's like, that's the agenda a lot of times. It is, though. And that being pushed, you're like, okay, who is even pushing this at this point? Or why? Why? Yeah.
Why are you doing this, man?
Exactly.
You get it, bro.
It's to continue to keep that division, that decisive that narrative mentality, it's like embedded into the minds of people. Yeah. And then the people that really, and it's crazy because, and I don't even mean to get off a topic, but it's crazy that nowadays you have a lot of people that they're just they just entrenched into the news. Mm-hmm. Then you have other people that they don't even mess with the news. They don't even watch it. Yeah. I'm the same way. And a lot of people might listen to this podcast like, boy, that sounds like the most ignorant. But again, because a lot of people will tell you, listen to the news. First of all, the same thing really coming on. Every hour, the same thing. It's like and that's crazy too. They keep it on replay. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Or they're gonna hit you at the main time. Exactly. When you're waking up,
6:00.
When you doing lunch.
Exactly.
And then
they're gonna drill it into your skull. Yeah. That, you know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. Right. The point is, it's like the important things that you may come across in your own community, within your own world, on the everyday. The positive things, you like, yo, this is beautiful what they doing in the city. They don't even display that on the news. They don't. You're like, bro, how you missed that? Right. You got a big Porsche right here, man, full of beautiful colors, stuff like that, man. And it's displaying togetherness, man. This brother, and it's in the hood. You got a Caucasian dude painted this thing. Nobody even
you know it's a guy there.
I know.
Panhandle Slim, man.
I know.
My man doing great things.
Brother, why you think I just said that? That why I'm.
You know
real.
what, bro? I was looking at buying the Andre 3000 portrait he did, bro. That was fire. You wouldn't even think he even tapped in like that,
man. Look, as soon as you come into
Angelo,
camouflage,
bro, all that,
it's like
man,
and Flage. You know what?
Right.
It's like, man, all of that stuff is here.
Yeah, man.
And again,
but it don't get highlighted.
Why? Again,
come on, man.
The stuff that make you ask why.
Come on, bro. But you hit it right on the head, bro, because it's like I said, I mean, when he said that, and it was a white dude that said that to me. It wasn't a black guy. He said, we need to get away from just highlighting color and highlight culture. Like, focus more on culture. Because when you look at it like that, like, yo, I'm trying to understand your color. Or versus, I'm trying to understand your culture. It kind of hit a little different than me. To me, that's how I looked. I was like, wow, man.
And
you know what I'm saying?
You're right. And that could sound something as simple or as simplistic as this. Hey, man, I'm just simply trying to learn. I'm just trying to. It may come for certain people. And first of all, I'm going to say this too. While we on this, we got to stop being so sensitive about everything.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
If I ain't gonna lie, bro, and it's like I was thinking about this too, actually, for something for us to talk about. But like the sensitivity in today's generation versus it's a big difference. And I understand, like, no, you should be in tune with what you're feeling itself. But it comes a time where, like, listen, like it's you're doing too much.
Right, I feel
like, for real. People quick to say you're doing it, like, after a while, bro, like, come on now. Come on.
Right. But then you wrong for doing that.
But see,
because you hindering somebody's. But it's like, bro,
it's
come
like,
on, man.
But again,
how
can we practice moderation when after a while you can keep doing too much? And then somebody down here doing not enough. It's just like, bro, look, for you, we need you to bring your game up, elevate a little bit. For you, can you tone it down a little bit?
Right.
Can you meet us right here? But it's like
you said, man, like, there's too much of the negativity because, like I said, if you walked around that place, everybody was really, I didn't see no issues really, like, that was, you know what I'm saying, the way the news portrayed it. They highlighted the fights. They highlighted the trash. Yeah. They didn't show the college kids picking up the trash. No. They didn't show the interactions between the locals. They didn't show all the college kids I saw taking pictures with the cops. They didn't show, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay. You know what I mean? Okay. But, and you know what's crazy though? It's because it's such an infectious thing, man. Because for somebody who never experienced that, nobody ever even been there, the news will show that. And then now that person's perception has changed forever. Exactly. Because they might not never even come to the city.
Exactly. Now,
but it's just one thing to check on the box. Yep. I knew it was true. I knew they act like that.
You know, I feel like we talked about this before. It's this deep feeling like we have. Maybe we haven't. I'm going to say it though. The interesting thing about what you're saying, right, is how you can get all this backlash because one thing goes sideways. Now, again, you can't control what everybody does.
Right.
You can control what self does. And if self in this situation is if it's the majority of people doing the right thing, then that one or that few people that go off, they go off and venture off and do whatever, right? You can't control that, but that's going to be the thing that's going to be highlighted. Yeah. Now, with that being said, to me, what I don't understand is this here. How can you say one thing about one thing and then you're totally oblivious to the other thing? What I'm talking about now, St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is way bigger. way bigger. Bro. You covering
they got so a parade. They got a whole parade.
The parade is long by itself.
Bro, it's a few hours.
About 4 hours.
Yes.
I might be exaggerating. It might be real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At least 2, I know for sure.
When you can lose count of how long a parade is, that's what we're trying to tell you. It's long. But my thing is this here. You got people get drunk. Yeah. I'm talking drunk as a skunk. You block off streets so that people can have that much. But even in the midst of blocking off streets and allowing people to do what they want to do, so to speak, people still doing the most.
Right.
If them doing the most looks acceptable. That's all I'm gonna say. If it looks acceptable because of who's doing it,
Right.
and opposed to who's doing it,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden let who do it, and they might mess around and they might be jailed.
Nah, that's 100%, man.
But who may do it and they get a slap on the wrist. Hey, buddy, maybe you need to put the cup down.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's all I'm saying. Focus more on culture more than color, bro. Cause it's real though. You know what I'm saying? And I think we have to get away from that, and we have to also like notice that, man. Because now I will say too, because I understand why the police presence was necessary like that.
I definitely do too.
A little overboard as far as the barricades, like I said, but I do understand because last year it did get out of hand. From the pictures and videos I saw, like the whole street, you can't even walk on the sidewalk. Like the crowd control was crazy.
So let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Again, you say from the pictures that you saw.
Yeah, and from the people telling me what's going on, so it kind of like matched up.
Okay. Because again,
Yeah. Exactly what we just talked about. But now, let me put context on that. Talking to the locals, and then me doing my own research and looking at, I was like, okay, that matches up from what I heard from versus what I saw.
Okay, so you know me, I want to fact check.
Yeah.
What did the locals say happened exactly last year that got out of control?
They said that like, just the crowd control, like it was gridlock, you couldn't move, traffic was crazy.
Oh, so it was gridlock.
Yeah, pretty much gridlock traffic. And the crowds, trash everywhere. Just like people, a couple of hotels and rooms got destroyed, like property damage and things like that. Just like that much of a crowd, no matter what your culture is, that big of a crowd is always going to be something crazy. Yeah, just like the football games or like the basketball games, once they end, they kind of go march down. They march down the city. They might knock down a light pole and stuff like, because it's such a huge crowd. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that part. And then the permits, they were saying that a lot of people didn't apply. They applied for permits, but they applied too late in the game. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, you got to apply a year out. You know what I mean? And I think that's what kind of, cause you setting up in the middle of the city, you know what I'm saying? That kind of messes up things because there's already stuff playing already in advance. So I can understand that part. And I think that's where the pushback came with Orange Crush. Was like, okay, cool. We don't mind you guys being out here, but make sure you get the proper permits and things that you need. And also make sure that you know what I'm saying, take care of, if you're going to party, you know what I'm saying, at least we need some crowd control, which is understandable. You know what I mean? Like if we know that people are coming out here and things like that, and that's what anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Football games, basketball games, sporting events, whatever. But yeah, that was kind of like my plan there, reviewing and reflecting on the recent event that happened. Man, that was pretty dope, man. Yeah, it was though, bro. Yeah. That was though, man. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Yeah, bro. Cause like that whole thing, man. It's like I've been thinking a lot, man, about like, it's just like, man, when you start talking about things such as like, let's call it what it is, man. When it all boils down to it, what do people dislike the most? Ignorance. Yeah. That's like, so at the end of the day, it's not a black or white thing or anything in between. It's just an ignorance thing. Yeah. Ignorance is what sticks out. It's like that right there. That's the thorn, man, that you mess around and step on and that catch your toe. That troubles you. Well, you know what I mean? It's like, like, it's a perfect word. You know what I'm saying? Hey, right, it's no different than, man, some family members. Yeah, facts. Some family members. Facts. And that's how I'm taking it to that point, because these are the things, man, this has nothing to do with race. Right. It has a lot to do with your grace, though. Your level of, you know what I'm saying? 100%. 100%. Just like, yeah, man. Hold on. Yeah. Taking on. Oh Lord, that's gonna ring again. I already know. But yeah, it's that's what it's all about. And like, how can we alleviate that issue? Right. Like, you know, like, a lot of times, you know, hey, you well aware of the consequences if you bring, you know, person A to exhibit A. Yeah, 100%. And then you like,
Nah.
Yeah, man.
And then if person A over here, you say you going to exhibit A. Yo, you going? We there? Wait, what you mean we? You know? And then all of a sudden now sometimes you got to take a L for the betterment of everybody. You know, on second thoughts, bro, I ain't gonna be able to make it.
Right.
It's like, bro, I'm not even bringing this. I'm not bringing no hurricane to your house.
Right.
I'm not doing it.
I can't do that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not even insured like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, to be honest, it's like,
bro, 100%, man.
You don't want these problems.
You don't, man. I'm telling you right now.
And then it's always, person B over here like, nah, man, you good, man. Bring your cousin. No,
man.
No, bro. No.
Matter of fact, we'll get up on the back end, bro. I'll let you know, man.
Nah, bro, look, I got room for y'all. No, you don't.
Nah, you don't.
No,
man.
you don't. And I got drinks.
We ain't never gonna be able to be invited back.
Exactly. Tell my bro, you will turn on me after that one. But nah, you know, like for real, man.
That's real, dog.
That's how it is, man. And
every culture experience that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. That's why at the end of the day, it's not even a culture thing. It's not a racial thing.
It's a human thing. Man.
It is. It's
real,
definitely a human thing.
That's real.
And and one thing about
that's what
humanity,
that showed me this weekend. It's a human thing, man.
And one thing about humanity, we all forget this, man. But us being human, we're not incapable of mistakes, and we come with a bunch of flaws. So I'm not saying I'm perfect by no means.
Nah, man.
You know what I'm saying? But I understand at the end of the day, because we are human and capable of mistakes.
Yeah.
Ignorance gets thrown into the equation, and then next thing you know, man, the scale is tipping one way or the other.
Right. And what is ignorance, man? It's a lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
That's it, bro. Word for thought, man. You know what I'm saying? Do you have a word for thought?
My word for thought is this, and this just hit me, a lot of times, man, when you think about becoming educated, like the mold for learning oftentimes comes from, your superior a lot of time. Yeah. Like somebody that's older than you, somebody that's more seasoned than you, somebody that you look up to could simply be a teacher, a parent, whatever. Those normally are the, but and what I'm about to talk about, man, education, me learning, how I learn and how I'm learning currently, or what I've learned, so to speak. I want to give a shout out to my child, man. My baby boy. So for him, I'm blessed to be a parent first and foremost. A parent of 3.
True.
But what I'm learning is the mold. Sometimes the mold could be wrong. Sometimes the mold could just be flawed. What do I mean by that? Is the thing that we oftentimes are taught that we should be doing, that we need to be doing, stuff like that. Sometimes all you can do is just ask for opportunity, ask for a chance. Sometimes for some, it just looks like them just being in the right situation at the right time.
Yeah.
And then from being in that right situation at the right time, they'll show you that the mold isn't what you think it is. What I mean by that is this here. With my son, I allow my son to play whatever sport that he chooses to play. If it's positive, man, I'm there for it. Hey, we can do it. I don't try to live my life through my child.
Right,
a lot of parents make that mistake trying to force a child to do this, that, and the other. They try to milk them for their worth. Milk 100%. Them dry at that point. But my son said for a few years, he said, "Daddy, I want to run track." And I don't know. I don't know much about track, Well, up until this year here, I didn't know much about track up until this year here. But hey, I said, you know what? Forget it. We'll do it this year. I saw the need for it. I felt like he was losing a step. I felt like he need to learn the techniques to running properly, everything else.
Yeah.
But little did I know, God was going to use this whole situation for something bigger, something different. And different looked like this. Yeah, I do feel like from this year in running, I do feel like he's gotten faster. I think he's gotten better with running, but really and truly, he's excelled at something totally different. Again, the mold is different. So for him, what I already knew coming in was the brother country strong. That's what it is.
Right.
He's just strong. He's been that way. I've had him kind of, I taught him how to do push-ups at 3, stuff like that. Brother he's been strong. So I talked to the coach, and the coach talked back to me and stuff like that, and coach decided he was going to allow him to do a shot put. So he tried shot put.
Oh, yeah.
The problem was, though, with that, with this recreation season, and this is one thing I don't like, being that the middle school and the high schools, track and field is going on, it was bleeding until the recreation, level. So a lot of, they didn't even get a chance to really, it's like it worked against him. When my daughter was running track, which shout out to her too, because she, again, for this to be both of their first year, I feel like they both excelled in their own ways.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of her because she actually came to me and told me, she said, Daddy, I want to do something different. So I'm like, okay, cool. By all means, I'm all about that support.
Yeah,
and
man.
I love that. So, but because of them being older, it bled into, the younger ones.
You mean like it was like a conflict on dates and stuff like that?
Dates, all that. Yeah. So a lot of their meets was getting pushed back. It got so bad to the point to where my son's first actual track meet was actually this Saturday be 3 weeks ago. Now it got to a point to where now that was his first. He would have had to hit place, and he would have had to hit made. He would have had to place period just to move on to the next Saturday. Mm-hmm. So shot put, running. That's all that is cool, but I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
But coach told me one day at practice, he was like, listen, he was like, Trey pretty good, man, with this javelin. I think we need to try to. So again, at that point, man, look, you the coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I know he's strong. You know what I'm saying? So you just teach him the right way. Teach him the technique. And I say, I know he's strong.
Yeah.
So he told me, he gave a goal. He said, man, if he can, do this, I don't think he's going to have a problem here in the city. He said, now when you go to Atlanta, if you make it to Atlanta, he was like, those guys up there, he's competing in the 12U. He's only 10 years old. Man. Make a long story short, man, the last 2 weeks, man, all glory to God. This kid has been coming in first place.
Oh, that's crazy. Javelin
throw, and they in 10U in the city, they got a softball throw. So it's like, man,
first place.
That's
crazy. So what is javelin? You gotta explain that.
So the javelin, when you get that, yeah.
Is that when you jump with it and you like go over the pole, or is that
no? So you stand and some people, you can get a little running start and you take and throw it. It's like it almost looked like an arrow.
Yeah.
And then it goes and it comes
kind
down
of by distance.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like
that's
man,
legit, man.
Doing this thing. Crazy. So this week here, man, he'd be competing at state Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia.
Dang, man, that's crazy.
Again,
that's crazy, man.
12U.
Congratulations,
10 years
man,
old.
Trey.
Exactly, man. Again, and I say all of that to say this, to anybody that's, under the sound of my voice listening, man. Just because you're looking around and you see, your Steph Curry's doing it one way, your LeBron James doing it another way. You're looking at the football field and then you seeing, Tom Brady did it one way. Man, look, we in a generation now where, we got stars at soccer. We got stars everywhere. But then we got another category that don't even exist yet, but it's going to soon exist. And we got, and that category is, the ones that's going to break the mold breakers. Be a mold breaker.
That's real.
Don't sit up there. You do not have to do nothing the way the next person did it. Because to be honest with you, it's never going to be done that way anyways.
Right.
Never going to be done that way. But it's the world is waiting on you.
100%,
now,
man.
The mistake you can't make is being too afraid to step outside of your shell. That's it.
Nah, that's real, bro. That was fire, dog.
sir.
Man, this is a Real Talk podcast, man. If you enjoy it, you had fun, you laugh with us, man, you resonated with something that we said, please give us a like, a share. Share it with a friend, man. Share it with a family member. When we grow, man, I'm telling you, y'all grow, man, and we enjoy it. We do this every Thursday, posting an episode every Thursday, man. Keep coming back, keep sharing it, keep liking it, keep commenting. This is the Real Talk podcast. Peace.
Real talk.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you want to check out more of our content, please visit our social media platforms linked in the description of this episode. You can also check us out each week where we drop a new episode every single Thursday. So don't forget, like, share, comment, and thanks again for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.